Start with this. I like the way you do it right there. This is our transition song into it. We love Chingy. We are millennials.
My favorite line is the Pocahontas.
I do love that.
I have never heard this song before until Kurt told me about it.
I actually heard this maybe once in my life.
It's so funny.
That's awesome. If I was Kurt, I'd have that as your ringtone when you call.
So good.
That'd be awesome.
And they like just throw out numbers. All different area codes.
That's awesome.
It's ridiculous. You can only listen to it every so often, but I had never ever heard that song.
That's amazing.
That's a new one.
Thank you, Chingy.
Okay.
Maybe he'll watch this.
We're not posting that part.
Yeah, we are.
No, I'm like...
We're real humans.
True. Yes, true.
We like Chingy. And the millennials will be watching this, so they'll know. We're all moms.
Oh,
except me.
So someday you will be. My friend, I couldn't go, but there is at FET in Providence, they had, speaking of moms and just old people, like talking about myself, people that like to go to bed early. They had a dance party from 6 to 9.
I heard about this.
I was so mad.
For like 30-year-olds and older or something like that?
I hope they do it again, because
I'd love to go with my friends.
Even in college, like I was not the night owl. I've never been a night owl. It's just not me. I did stay up, but it went against my natural
worked at restaurants in college. Like, I was more like work full time.
Yes.
And school full time.
Yeah.
That's when I did more like,
Yes.
That's where like afterwards we go to bars. We wouldn't like go to clubs.
Yeah.
But
it's part of the culture.
School, we did more clubs. It was the funniest thing.
Yeah.
I'm just like, we all have to let loose.
Yes, after those big exams.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
It was like, we'd rage. And it was so much fun.
It's funny to see all the like type A personalities unwind too.
Yeah.
Like all our little sticky note people and
some of those like people like actually were really resistant at first, and they realized like, oh, I have to go and socialize. It's good.
Yep, you gotta.
Chingy baby.
Mm-hmm. And this is good for your hips.
It's good for your core.
Yeah.
Speaking of core.
Yes, segue.
Happy coffee talk number 6. We're not wearing the same thing as last time.
No.
It's a different day.
Different day. Your hair just always looks so good.
My hair just always looks good. We're going to talk about core. What does it mean to do core work and to get your core stronger? This is for literally anyone.
You all have a core.
We all have a core. But where is our core?
Most people think it is doing crunches, right? Crunches and planks.
And we're not going to do crunches and planks.
Yeah. You can.
You can. No, crunches, let's not do crunches. Let's be real.
Okay.
All right, no crunches.
No crunches.
Planks, yes. Real quick, I'm Dr. Angie from Synergy Chiropractic Sports Rehab.
I'm Dr. Mary Helen Gustafson, Nurturing Wellness Physical Therapy, so pelvic health and a little bit of orthopedics.
And we're just really freaking smart. So we're going to talk about all women's health.
Did your head just get bigger?
Yeah. It feels like it's going to explode still because I'm still sick. So this is going to be our topic today. Make this quick. Just people understand like, hey, I need to work my core. And I probably get this every single person that calls of like, I think I need to work my core more. Well, do you know what your core is? No, but yes.
Yeah.
There's so much more than you think to it. And let's dive into it.
Yes.
So you want to talk about breathe?
Yeah, I'll say my quick definition in body parts, and then I actually don't know how you describe it.
You know what? Okay.
Maybe we're
You talk about your description of it. I'll talk about my description, and then we'll talk about, I think we both have our same starting point of breathing and stuff. So, okay, go for it.
So I always say your core is not just your rectus abdominis, which is the outer ab that you see on like Men's Health or Women's Health magazine. That's what we think. I think we grew up thinking is your core.
Absolutely.
But it's made up of your diaphragm, that's why we're talking about breathing, the breathing muscle that sits under your rib cage. It is your certain back muscles. We highlight the erector, but you don't even have to know the names, just your back, your glutes, bum, and your pelvic floor.
Yeah.
And your abdominals, obviously. Yes.
Yeah.
We don't skip them. But if you're just training your abdominals, you are never going to see the results that you want.
Correct.
So that's why we're saying just we don't do crunches. They're fine, but they're not going to be the thing that escalates your rehab or makes you feel stronger.
Absolutely. Similar. I'm just like, hey, like your core is not just your six-pack abs. It's everything in this square.
Yes.
Okay. So like she said, I'll start below, like, so glutes or anterior core, pelvic floor. Yes, your six-pack abs technically is, core. Different layers. The biggest one is your transverse abdominis layer. That one starts actually back here around your spine.
Yes.
It comes all the way around. This guy does not work for a lot of people. We just don't know how to tap into it. A lot of disc patients have this issue that they don't know how to engage, embrace.
And so disc, we mean like low back pain, herniated disc,
any pain going down the legs. That's a lack of support from that specific core muscle as well. Your back muscles, your lat muscle is
my
core.
Own issue. Yeah.
Any muscles going up the spine. It's just basically
whole body.
What I like to say, it's everything in this square. Like even your pec muscle. This is part of your core, right? Yes. So like, I basically say the same thing, but the biggest thing is like, okay, how do we connect with it? Like, what are our first steps?
Because once you know how to turn it on properly, then you can fly with.
It can change your whole life.
Yes.
Like your entire life.
I remember when it clicked for me, for sure.
So I'm not even kidding. It probably just clicked for me the last couple of years when I started working with my coach. And it's not because he cued me a different way. I just like, it takes like to connect with your body. It's not like I'm numb, like that's not what I'm saying, but like to really, like my biggest thing is engaging with exercise. I've had long-standing low back pain and disc. So like my core has been something I've had to work on for years and years and years. And sometimes I just wasn't getting it.
And if you're not getting it with exercise at home or daily living, when you're lifting something and you're not going to get it, and that's when you're going to hurt your back.
And for me to finally understand it and get it even more, I've been able to coach people. Well, this is what kind of when I like opened up this of just like, I get this whole thing now. And now I'm not scared to like put the barbell on my back or anything anymore. Those for my big lifters.
Yes.
When you've had sciatic, you have bulging discs, like it's scary.
So you get fear avoidance patterns.
Yeah, tons of fear avoidance I had. And so, shout out to my coach for helping me get through that. But I think I just went on a tangent, but it can change your life. Yeah. And so
well, and so my personal experience with core issues came from having babies, and after my
we have different core experiences.
After my first, I did not have any issues with my core that I knew about. But little did I know there was some whisper going on there. And in traditional, so getting my doctorate in physical therapy, we did not learn this. I think through practice, I had heard of diastasis. So all of you listening who have phones, like social media, everybody knows, I feel like, what diastasis is now.
You'd be surprised still some people don't know. That's okay.
It's just getting so much more highlighted that people actually reach out and call me ahead of time because they want postpartum to make sure they're doing things properly because they've heard horror stories. All to say, I didn't learn. I received a doctorate. We did not cover diastasis.
No, I didn't either.
And then after my second baby, I knew there was something going on at my core. It just didn't feel right. And I loved my midwife, but she just said, well, you're a PT, you know what to do. And I was like, well, uh-oh. And I'm super sleep. So I didn't address it right away. I was taking care of 2 kids and sleep deprived. And then I got into a fear avoidance pattern because I was going down this rabbit hole. I wasn't a pelvic health PT at the time. I was orthopedics only. And I knew what not to do, but I didn't know what to do to make it better. So it wasn't until years later in a women's health PT class, I was taking continuing ed, that the people in the class were like huddled around me trying to help me. Be like, wait, you're in a fear avoidance pattern. Like, you have to move.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. And so I gave myself, well, this is important
I'm
for this
so
story. No, it's okay. So after my second, I went to a bar class for the first time ever at 3 to 4 months postpartum. And I was exclusively nursing. My kiddo would not take a bottle. 2 kids, sleeping maybe like 2 to 3 hour stints at night. And I gave myself a hernia at the end of that class because
No
we
way.
ended with a Pilates ball under our backs going into boat pose. So
I
that's
think I
when
know
your
what boat
legs
pose
are
is.
up. Yeah, super like a hollow hole.
Yeah.
I had no business doing that. And I heard a pop and like a clunk. And so then I just stopped doing anything for my core. I didn't go see anyone. I didn't know pelvic health PTs could help with this. I didn't go back to my doctor because she told me I should know what to do. And so I just lived with it and got weaker and weaker and weaker.
Wow.
So an example of what went wrong there was that I didn't allow myself proper healing time.
Mm-hmm.
We all have our own genetic makeup of collagen. And so your linea alba is this connective tissue that runs through the middle of your outer core, your rectus.
Mm-hmm.
And that is pliable. So we can get pregnant. It has to stretch.
Yeah.
Diastasis is 1000% normal in pregnancy. It has to happen. But what I made the mistake of is without doing proper training to go to bar, I didn't even want to go to bar. I just wanted to get out of my house. Someone invited me. I wanted to have a break. And you have to learn these proper, like why Angela started talking about breathing. If I had learned how to connect to my core and taken the proper steps to then get there, I would have been okay, I'm sure. But I didn't know any better.
Yeah.
And
This is like, we're professionals at this point.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, that just shows the lack of education that there is
and
out there. So imagine like the average person that doesn't know anything about anatomy.
Yeah.
And how like scary that can be.
Right. I remember I told the instructor I had a diastasis, but she also didn't know what that was.
Just like, all right,
I mean, it's all on me. I needed to not, when I coach my clients about going back to group classes, I always just say, do you have the ability to modify and hold back and not be competitive with yourself or the other people in the class to know your proper healing? So that's my journey with diastasis and core.
That's pretty like, so that's a really good one for moms. Because it's so common.
Super common.
So like what you just described is like every mom out there.
Yeah. And
if they don't have that postpartum training, they don't know how to reconnect, these things happen because they want to go back to their group classes. They want to go back to community.
Yeah.
And then when they go back and this happens, they get really down on themselves. And they're just like, will I ever be able to do anything again? It's just like, no, you will. It's just, you just didn't have the proper guidance and rehabilitation education.
And it's different for all of us. We all have different stories, different pregnancies, different not ever being pregnant, just different injuries or ways you've recruited your body.
Yeah. Like mine was deadlifting. Well, no, it happened in high school. I just didn't have a core. I was doing all these activities in high school and I was having back pain. And then my back would go out and I was like a gym rat, early 20s, my back would go out deadlifting and it really was just like exercise related. And like I couldn't, and all of it had to do was like, hey, can we engage before we do these things? It's just like, and then like I would be moving something at my house and I would do it. So it's just simple things of like, hey, you're just the average person, like men.
Yes. Oh, we see it all the time.
You know what I mean? Like they might not have diastasis or anything, but
sometimes they do. Actually, my first patient, like my first run-in with diastasis was an older man. Yeah.
That's true too.
They can, because it's the same anatomy.
I haven't technically seen it. But
so a lot of times it's with any weight changes here and putting pressure or like coughing, like the way pressure and stress comes through this part of our body, it's vulnerable to stretch and injury.
Hasn't been nice the last couple days.
So a lot of the missing pieces is you need to know what your pelvic floor is, because you do have to recruit that to get a good core engagement. It works with the transverse abdominis, which is the deep.
So let's talk now technique a little bit for the next couple minutes. Like, okay, so let's go I like to call it, we do the breathing first because first off, your rib cage is a joint that needs to move correctly so that all the muscles, like we said, everything in this box, rib cage is in that box.
Yep.
That needs to expand properly. It needs to deflate properly, right? So that's where diaphragm comes into play. Just other abs come into play. So how would you coach someone, just the initial, like, mom, not a mom, whatever, any cycle
walks through my door.
Yeah, any cycle of life.
So I always preface this with, there's no perfect way to breathe, but I'm going to show you what I think is going to help you. And if you've been breathing differently your whole life, it's not wrong. It's not like, because people get hung up on that.
Yeah.
And so I just coach in what's going to help recruit best. So autonomically, which means without you telling yourself, we're autonomically breathing. You're not telling yourself to inhale and exhale. It's a function that happens automatically. So in medicine, it's called autonomic. When we inhale, autonomically, our pelvic floor does drop down a little. When we exhale, especially out our mouth, our pelvic floor lifts and contracts a little and turns on our transverse abdominis.
Yeah.
So the way I cue step 1 is to put your hands on your ribs. I like to do this in a lot of positions at home. We sometimes find you're on your back, but know that on your back, your ribs are blocked as well.
You can't expand the same
so
way.
Some people call it 360 breathing or umbrella breathing, but you want to take your inhale, my microphone again, your inhale away from up here. This is fight or flight. We all are stressed. We want to get it out of here because that's just up and down and get our inhale out into our rib cage. Your chest and your belly are going to move.
We want them to move.
We want the initiation to happen
from your lower
rib
cage,
because that makes your diaphragm do its job. And at the same time, we don't even have to cue this. I just plant the seed that your pelvic floor is letting go. It wants to be letting go. That's a whole other story. If you're in my office, I might be exploring if it can.
So you're exploring in a different way, but like,
but
like
you
a way that
externally too.
I like to start people with this breathing too is, let's say we are on our back. We want the stacked position so that your pelvic floor can drop with your diaphragm. I have not clenching your butt, but you tailbone tuck under so that you can get rib cage over pelvis instead of it being off.
People say,
oh my God.
So I've heard some,
continue for me,
funny cueing. Some people say tits over hips. Have you heard that before?
No.
It's like just to remember it.
Mine's just like, hey, look, like, you see these girls like this?
Yeah, that's not good.
That's like, I kind of have
and you don't want to flatten your bum.
No, you don't. You don't want to like squeeze it. Like, you just like,
it's
hey,
just
can we naturally
line up?
Line up.
Yep. And so if you think about pregnancy, that does the opposite. It flares our ribs.
Yeah, and that's okay.
A lot
that's
of like
to happen.
Opposite distance runners, sprinters can sometimes be your gymnasts, ballerinas.
Yeah.
Or if you just were like a bend and snap girly, your Legally Blonde reference, you might be prone to that. And then your core can't be as strong because you're changing the length tension.
Now we can argue, be like, really, Simone Biles, she could have problems. We don't know, but
she's like, probably strong.
But she's so strong. There's a whole different level.
Her goals are different.
Yeah, exactly.
So what her body needs to do is different than all of
so like, there's no perfect posture. There's no perfect way.
There's no perfect breathing.
But can we get out of those postures
that aren't serving you?
Yes. So, for example, that's kind of like my first cue.
Yep.
Like, it's just like, hey, can we stack and breathe in a stacked position?
Yep.
Whether it's seated or I try laying down, because going against gravity is like harder in general. So we starting laying down, and then maybe upright or even like on all fours.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I sometimes put pillows behind people's. So if you're laying down,
you're
like in a crunch position, you can stack up the back part of you, the upper core or upper spine, to get the ribs stacked easily. Just so you can feel it without you having to do it.
Yeah. That's like first and foremost.
Yes.
Like, let's get out of that position.
And a lot of people walk in here and you're bodybuilders or you're high level athletes, CrossFit, and it's important to take a step back and do one of my PT professors would say, nobody wants to do these exercises. They want the sexy exercises. And this wasn't even pelvic health. She's like, they want the big, fancy, sexy, and,
like,
you're
sometimes
missing
you have to go back to, this is why
the basics.
Go to base blocks. Like you're in the gym and doing all this crazy stuff, but you have symptoms. Sorry, I'm going to bring you back. I'm not going to take you away from that gym.
No.
Still go. But guess what? I'm going to give you stuff that's going to complement it. So you're never going to have that experience that maybe you were, or like that after effect. So
even
like,
if they're not symptomatic, they're just not going to get as strong as they think.
Yeah.
And see the
just
changes.
Like, come back to basics and understand, like, is our foundation there to be able to, like, because you might plateau and there's a reason for that. Like, come back and do what you need to do.
Yes. Break it down.
And so from there, right? So let's just breathing mechanics. Cool. Now we need to learn how to essentially turn on the core. I use the word brace loosely in a way, you know what I mean? Because I don't want clenching all day.
Yeah.
But you truly need to know, like, hey, can you flex here?
Yes.
It's
hard to do it without a patient in front of you.
It's hard. I think it's like, because there's a fine line too between bracing and like clenching the upper abs, or like, can we access the lower abs? How do you, for women, because you've taught me good things too. Like truly, I listen to you. I'm like, how do you cue to really get them to learn how, like, hey, we need to zipper this up.
Yeah.
And we're not just rib cage down to flex.
And it's not just belly to back, which is what I tried back when I was this new mom of 2, had my issue, was told I should know what to do. She was being nice. I just didn't admit I didn't know how to do this to the midwife. And then I got an app that was supposed to help heal me, and it made things worse. I don't think I ever told you that part. No. But the cueing in that app was so much belly to spine. So I was doing that all the time.
And you're just bringing your spine to the floor, and it's almost like just a pelvic tilt. And this is where I've seen a lot of downfall, maybe with traditional, because there was a study that came out where it's like belly to spine, but then people are thinking like, oh, I just tilt my hips back. Isn't that a brace? I'm like, well, you're not actually contracting any muscles.
Right. So people in group classes, you might hear the instructor say to do that. And I always say that's fine, because they have a class of 20 and they can't get their hands on all of you, but you're not getting your core to fire properly because your skeletal system's doing the work, not the muscles. But to answer your question, the way I cue the deeper core, if we've got that inhale down, I always like to cue and exhale, because the studies are there. This is why Pilates cues breathing out your mouth is a stronger pelvic floor lift. And I say that you want to think about lifting up from the pelvic floor like you're holding in pee, poop, or gas. Or to get even more detailed when we're talking pelvic floor, like you're sucking up a smoothie straw through your labia. Or for men, there's a cue, they say like head to head. So you're trying, and I don't treat men at the moment, but it's not just a squeeze for a Kegel. And I'm talking about a Kegel. It's not just a squeeze, it's a together and a lift up. And then after, you have to do that first, because we want bottom up.
I'm doing it right now, yeah.
I could tell because you were staring off into space. Yeah. And then these bones on the side of your hips, they're not moving, but I cue if you could move those closer to midline.
I think like a corset. That's what I like to say. Like, hey, we're like cinching this through.
Because different than just bracing, what we think of, I think, as bracing, what you might think of. I want to get away from belly to spine, and it's like a wave. We're in the ocean state. It's just ignore her.
Sorry.
I applaud you for trying to do this while you don't feel great. It's a bottom up. Like if you have a tube of toothpaste or a bag of chips.
A bag of chips.
I know.
You're from Massachusetts.
Really, my kids keep harping on how I say squirrel. Apparently I say it wrong.
Squirrel.
Yes.
Damn it.
I'm from South Weymouth. So when you
I know some people
squeeze the tube of toothpaste in the middle, or you squeeze a bag of chips. I got in trouble in first grade for doing this because it popped and we were supposed to have silent lunch. Trauma. What's going to happen? Stuff goes up and down. We don't want that. We don't want prolapse, leaking, pressure on the pelvic floor, farting in exercise class, right? That's what all that is. And we don't want, the stupid mic again, my hands. It's like Talladega Nights. You don't want more neck tension,
Mhm.
jaw clenching, shoulders up. We're all stressed enough. So getting back to, you inhale first to set yourself up.
Mhm.
Ribs expand. Exhale slowly. This isn't like
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
strong.
Don't forceful. Go gentle.
Gradual. You do a gentle little Kegel, and that's why you're with me. I'm making sure you know what a Kegel is.
Mhm.
And then you feel your hip bones, the deeper core come together, and then last you might have belly button and then under ribs.
Yeah.
But if you're an upper ab clencher,
Mhm.
you're the type that's likely getting this here first, the upper core,
Mhm.
and you bypass down here.
Yeah. So that's something I really look for in women more than
Mhm.
ever, because I'm just like, because brace, so the breathe to brace is so important.
Yeah.
But also just to be able to, like, every day just be able to, like, you
Yeah.
have that situation to brace.
Yes.
That is huge.
Yes.
Right? So my biggest thing is, like, breathe to brace, just like you described.
Yeah.
But I also coach people on, like, all right, just brace for me now.
Yes.
Like, I have to
Turn
test
it
them.
on.
But what she's saying is, like, with the women especially too, I make sure that needs to be in tuned with them, of just like, can we get lower?
Yeah.
And I put my hands on them too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then I make my way up, because guess what? Like, it's one of the first things I do with almost every single person, because I'm like, if you can't brace,
Yeah.
you don't know how to access your core, we can't even move forward.
You can't be doing lat pull downs.
You can't do
and
anything.
Upper body stuff in there.
You can't do anything.
Yeah.
So that's key.
And it's going to look different for everyone,
It does.
because if you might be an upper ab clencher, or your obliques might be over recruited, and we have to make sure we turn those off a little to get this deeper core first, and then those come along.
Then we
for
start
the ride.
to bring the obliques into
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
And
it's different positions.
Yeah. And it's funny because I got the bracing down, but my obliques actually wouldn't turn on. So then, like, some people have and then you too, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
getting that of just like, hey, now we gotta, like, you've worked really hard, you did really good, so now we gotta recruit even more
Right.
now though.
Yep.
And get these guys. So, like, hey, where can we
Yeah.
come in? And a lot of it's just like, hey, can you sit there? Like, do you know what a brace is? A lot of people don't know what a brace is. They're like, I'm
No.
like, have you ever been, so like, I'll see people who have disc issues, they've been to other therapies, whatever it may be. I'm like, hey, has anyone gone over bracing with
Yeah.
you? And they're like, no.
Yeah. And they might push their core out. Have you had that? Like,
Yeah, and I'm just like, hold on.
Like, that's the opposite.
I'm like, hold on. I was like, no,
Yeah.
no. And you have to, everyone's different with cueing. Like, you cannot just think it's just like a one-way streak here.
No.
That's why we take
That's why
the time
our jobs
with
are so
people.
interesting.
Yeah.
Because what works with one patient, then
Does
the next
not
patient comes
work.
in,
and we
Yeah.
gotta learn to pivot.
Yeah. Pivot.
We have to learn to do that, because everyone's different. Everyone's body's so different.
And a lot of times I find, so I can be a little wordy, and also some people, especially if you're seeing me postpartum, you're tired. You have so much capacity, right?
Yeah.
Or if you're just like me, and I have so many stories I can tell you of how my brain is overbooked. So sometimes there's something happening in our ceiling.
Whatever.
Sometimes you have to stop and then put movement into it. You know, we take our instruction out, get you moving,
Yeah.
and then find if your body can feel the core that way.
Yeah. Just connecting on a different level.
Like,
too.
okay, what do you do at home? What do you do at work? Let's start looking at that movement and cue you there, and then maybe it will click.
And then from there, that little bracing and learning how to really engage from bottom up, like, we take it to different levels of just like, okay, like, now we're going to do this, and we're going to incorporate, like, you know, maybe a specific core exercise, or even when people do glute bridges in here, I'm like, all right, do a single leg glute bridge. I want you to hold it, but, like, hey, let's actually practice a brace while you're doing this. Sure. Can you show the body that we can handle both of these and have all this engagement? Yeah. You know, and glute bridges are your core.
And what's awesome when you get your core and you know that you are engaging, then when you're doing upper body lifts, you're getting your core on, because you're actively breathing in a way that you're recruiting. Yeah. So, because nobody has time to just do abs. I mean, you can, but why not do ab work with your other body parts, because that's only going to make you function better.
One time I was younger, early 20s, like, in the gym scene, and they were like, you know, you just lifting is core work. And I was like, no. But now I get it because I know how to connect with my core. It's just like, okay, really, if you truly know how to, you can connect every lift to your core the way you should.
Yes.
And then that way, that supports you.
Yes.
Not saying everyone lifts, but like I'm saying, that supports you throughout life of just like, hey, if you can get this, that's what I tell my people. I'm like, if you can get this here, and we do these drills and we're constantly going for months and we're like, your core is stronger and it's turned on when you're doing active daily living stuff. And like, you're not going to have that reaction when you go to garden. Yeah. You know, when you're picking up your kid, when you're
doing those crazy car seat transfers that nobody can have good ergonomics for. Playing tennis like me, beginner tennis.
I play pickleball.
Yeah.
So I got to be careful too. Yeah. I got him diving for the ball.
And then with the caveat, sorry if I just cut off what you were saying, to not turn your core on all day long. I have so many of you who come in, you're always sucking in.
Clenching.
Because you think it's going to help snatch your belly. No. I don't know. And it's a body really tight, mindset issue. It's a habit. Or you just think you're going to fit in doing core work while you're in the car. Yeah. It's too much.
Yeah. No, because even for me, like, I demonstrated all day.
Yes, I have a lot of fit pros. And
so I'm just like, I gotta release this.
Your belly should jiggle like it's supposed to be a little. Yeah. It has to move. It has to expand, and it's a whole other tangent that it's going to change appearance at different phases of your cycle. If you're female,
I just followed someone on Instagram.
If you took a picture,
that she literally every day takes every week what it is in each phase.
It's normal.
I was like, who is this chick? I liked her. Yeah. So I followed her. She had a lot of followers.
I've thought about doing it, but I'm not brave enough to do that. But all to say, it's normal.
I should. Anyways.
Let your belly go.
Yeah. And it's just like, hey, look, like I've been overweight my whole life. Not like, you know, just like athletic, but like still had, like, she works out, but she likes to eat kind of look. And it's just like, so my thing is like, I always want to make my stomach smaller. Mm-hmm. Okay. So like, I always, like when I was younger, I try to suck in. Now, could that have led to my back problems? We can go through a whole tangent on that. But like, I find myself a lot clenching here because it's like that society kind of thing where it's like, I always want the really small belly. Mm-hmm. So that's something for my ladies that like, if you have that self-conscious about the stomach, like we have a lot of mental issues with our tummies and we want to be flat.
It's real.
Like, it's a real thing.
That's okay.
And like let go. Yes. Like the best thing I could have done these last couple of years is just let it go. Mm-hmm. And like,
because then you get better range of motion.
I started lymphatic massage. Oh my God, they just do so much belly because of like your lymphatic system. Yes. And it just felt so good.
I do a lot of abdominal work too.
Yeah. And you used to do that for me too. Yeah. And it makes all the difference. Everybody grips. Truly. Yeah, we grip. And sometimes we just grip for the wrong reasons. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say there. She works out but likes to eat.
Talk nicely to yourself.
I am.
You need to eat to work out.
Better. That's true. Mm-hmm. Speaking of, I have a chicken sandwich waiting for me. So.
All right. Let's wrap up. Your core.
We took way longer than we should have for this one.
I didn't even look.
Sorry, 33 minutes.
It's supposed to be like 15 minutes.
Yeah, that's fine. Core.
Yeah, cliff notes.
Learn how to engage.
It's more than
body
just parts.
Here. We're all the way through here.
You need to get someone to get their hands on you to make sure you are engaging properly. Even if you're happy with your exercise class, come find someone to give you a unique hands-on approach so that you can fly in your exercise class.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can do even better. Yeah. Breathing's important. Connect. Yep. And
let your belly go.
Let your belly go.
Watch this.
Everything
okay.
is fine.
It's fine. We're fine.
I'll be fine next time. Okay, thanks.
See ya.
Bye.